Hey, and welcome back to the Anfield Eye. My name is Mal, and Liverpool fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could change everything you know about this transfer window. Alexander Isak has dropped a bombshell on Newcastle, and the Reds are circling like sharks, with whispers of a record breaking £120 million bid. And Isak left out of Newcastle's pre-season tour. The writing just might be on the wall. But wait for it, it gets even crazier. Hugo Ekitike has officially landed at Anfield, and while the fans are still wrapping their heads around that move, insiders are saying Liverpool aren't done yet. Could we really see both Isak and Ekitike in red this season? And what does that mean for the future of Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, or even Luis Diaz? This isn't just transfer gossip, this is a full blown power move from Arne Slot and FSG. So stay tuned because in this video we're breaking down the latest developments, what's really going on behind the scenes, and why Liverpool's summer might just be the most explosive in Premier League history. So let's get into it. On X, yesterday, Fabrizio Romano put up a post. Breaking news: Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to explore a move this summer. He said the club's aware of players' plans and will now decide how to move. As Craig Hope reported, Newcastle have already restarted exploring a move for a top striker in the market. And the top striker at the moment under discussion for Newcastle is Benjamin Sesko or Wissa from Brentford. Fabrizio Romano then followed up that tweet with, I understand Alexander Isak remains the target for Liverpool even after signing Ekitike, but it depends on Newcastle. If Newcastle open doors to an exit and LFC sell Diaz, they can bid after direct contact was made with Isak and Newcastle 10 days ago. Isak not in concrete talks with Al Hilal so far. So that was the follow up tweet from Fabrizio Romano, and all of a sudden the Twitterverse and social media went absolutely mad. Then, 19 hours ago, Fabrizio Romano posted, Chelsea are not actively working on Alexander Isak deal and have no interest in proceeding despite reports. Chelsea are very happy with their strikers and fully focused on Xavi Simons and Jorel Hato deals at the moment right now. The club working on the Isak deal was, is, and remains Liverpool Football Club. So that was another bomber from Fabrizio Romano. David Ornstein also got in on the act 22 hours ago. He posted Alexander Isak wants to leave Liverpool, Newcastle United, not Liverpool, an absence from Celtic friendly, and an absence from Asia's tour. The 25-year-old's preference. Newcastle keen for Sweden international striker to stay on an improved deal, but also exploring potential replacements. So David Ornstein also getting in on the act. Let's also take a look at the Athletic. 3 hours ago, the Athletic posted Newcastle United are likely to want 150 million for Alexander Isak, but that's not all. If you throw in the agent fees, wages, and a 4% transfer levy for Premier League clubs, and this deal could end up costing 250 million over a 5-year contract. Can the club afford it? Well, if you look at all the top five clubs in the Premier League, the club that's pretty much run the best has been FSG, and Liverpool spent nothing last year in the last transfer window. They spent nothing in the January transfer window. They have assets to sell as well. They have new sponsorship deals that are just active at the moment and are about to go active as well. They have guaranteed Champions League football next year, and they are more likely to finish definitely in the top four, most likely in the top two. And if they get Alexander Isak, most likely they will win the Premier League and go back to back. So an excerpt from The Athletic: the field of possible destinations looks slim. Even ignoring the football factors, the financials in play are huge and an obvious barrier to entering the Isak market. That was Chris Weatherspoon, the football finance writer. But if there is any club in the Premier League right now that has the funds to buy Alexander Isak, it is Liverpool FC. They have the funds, they also have the assets that they can sell. One of those assets that Liverpool are looking to hold on to but could possibly sell was Luis Diaz. And 20 hours ago, Fabrizio Romano put up a post: Bayern Munich's new proposal for Luis Diaz set to be sent soon as planned since last weekend. Liverpool are aware of the player's desire to leave the club, and talks will continue to discuss details of the financial package with Bayern. Now, one of the financial assets Liverpool have is Luis Diaz, and then the second asset Liverpool have is Darwin Núñez, who is at this moment in time on tour with the Liverpool team, but that could change at any minute. Then, if you add on top of that Harvey Elliott, who is looking to secure his place in the first 11 and cannot be guaranteed a place in a spot in the first 11 by Arne Slot. Harvey Elliott may also leave, and we hear that West Ham United are interested in Harvey Elliott and also Tyler Morton. And Newcastle United, don't forget, are in the market for a striker. So Darwin Núñez might actually go the other way. It is all down to the player. Again, more news on Luis Diaz. Liverpool expect to receive a 70 million euro offer plus 10 million euro bid from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz in the next hour. Now, I like Luis Diaz. I like the fact that he is always thinking and playing to move forward, and he's always looking to get into the penalty area. But if selling Luis Diaz means we get Alexander Isak, I think it's a price worth paying. Transfer News Live put a post up 3 hours ago. Bayern Munich are set to bid again for Luis Diaz. Bayern Munich really want the player. And the player, I believe, has told Bayern Munich he really wants this transfer. So keep your ears peeled because I think that is going to happen. The touchline posted 19 hours ago: if Liverpool managed to sign Alexander Isak, can we all agree that this would mean the greatest transfer window for any football club in history? And I think that's pretty much true because Liverpool broke the transfer record signing Florian Wirtz. And then if they break that record again and sign Alexander Isak, that will be the first time a club has broken the transfer record 2 times in one transfer window. So that is intent. That is intent from Liverpool Football Club. Live score posted 22 hours ago: Alexander Isak has asked to leave Newcastle United. Liverpool are still interested in making him a British record signing. Let's see if that materializes. Then we have our Anfield sector 12 hours ago. Liverpool are readying an official approach to Newcastle after Alexander Isak told the club he wanted to explore a move away this summer, and Liverpool are readying a British record offer. So, all happening, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in because things are about to go into the stratosphere. It is absolutely crazy. Now let's look at the news. What's going on? Well, if you look at the news, you will see that from a Sky Sports perspective, Alexander Isak's transfer, Newcastle future is analysed, and Liverpool finances are also analysed. I believe that a lot of football financial experts have looked into Liverpool, and they do believe that Liverpool can actually pull this off. The Guardian: Alexander Isak is open to leaving Newcastle with Liverpool his preferred destination. And then the Liverpool Echo, Alan Shearer makes ridiculous Alexander Isak point as Liverpool are handed a transfer boost. Apparently Newcastle have pulled in Alan Shearer to convince Alexander Isak to stay at Newcastle, but I think the player's head has been turned. The Sport Bible, why Liverpool can afford Alexander Isak despite spending more than £280 million already. And then Alexander Isak, the Independent, says eyes a Newcastle exit with Liverpool monitoring the situation. The London Evening Standard, Liverpool get Isak boost as striker puts in a Newcastle transfer request. And Football 365, Newcastle needed Alexander Isak to make himself the villain. Apparently, this is something that Newcastle were fully aware of, and they wanted Alexander Isak to make the first move. And so Alexander Isak has done so. Looking at the BBC, what is going on here? Liverpool plan a record Isak deal. Friday's gossip column. Let's take a look. It was updated 57 minutes ago. Liverpool are ready to break the British transfer record again for Alexander Isak, but Al Hilal are also preparing a huge bid for the Sweden striker, while Newcastle are lining up Benjamin Sesko as a potential replacement plus more. Liverpool are poised to make a British record bid for Newcastle and Sweden striker Alexander Isak, but Saudi side Al Hilal are also currently preparing a bid, understood to be more than 130 million for Isak after he was omitted from Newcastle squad for the pre-season tour of Singapore. Now, it is understood that Alexander Isak wants to remain in the Premier League and that a move to Saudi at this moment in his career is something that he does not want to consider. Chelsea and Manchester United have ruled out a move for Isak, with the latter already having spent big on Brazil forward Matheus Cunha and Cameroon international Brian Mbeumo, and Newcastle have turned their attention to Slovenian international Benjamin Sesko. Aston Villa are also this is a Ollie Watkins story. Manchester United interested in Ollie Watkins, and Aston Villa are saying no. So let's see how that continues to develop. Team Talk. Well, we've got some information going on, and what Team Talk are saying is that 7 Liverpool exits will unlock Alexander Isak's signing in Richard Hughes' master plan. A fresh report claims that Liverpool are planning to offload as many as 7 players to unlock an incredible record-busting deal to sign Newcastle striker Alexander Isak. Alan Shearer is also trying to convince him to stay at St James's Park. Don't think that's going to happen. The Reds are back on full alert after the prolific Sweden international told Newcastle he's considering his future at the club, having been left out of the pre-season tour of Singapore and South Korea earlier this week. Basically, if you've left the player out of the squad and you've flown halfway across the world, I don't expect Alexander Isak to be back at the Newcastle training ground when that team returns. Team Talk transfer insider Fraser Fletcher exclusively broke the news on Thursday morning. However, for Liverpool to finally land one of the top targets, they will have to spend anywhere between 120 to 150 million. Given that the Anfield outfit led by Richard Hughes have already splashed out 250 million on new additions, sales are now critical to get a sensational deal for Isak over the line. Now, you could believe that, but you could also believe some financial experts that are saying Liverpool actually have that money in the bank already. So Liverpool could literally buy Alexander Isak before needing to sell their assets. The Liverpool Echo has detailed the 7 Liverpool players who could all be moved on to generate funds and satisfy PSR. And the 7 players are, I guess, Hughes will need to get his selling hat on first. Darwin Núñez fully expected to leave the club for maybe Saudi Arabia. Napoli were in for him, but their bid was too low and Liverpool were not interested. Then Luis Diaz is also mentioned here, and I think he is most likely to be the first major exit out of the Liverpool door. And then apart from that, you've got Federico Chiesa, who had been left out of the squad on their tour to the Far East. I think Chiesa will be returning to Serie A, but that's probably not going to generate a huge amount of income for Liverpool. Kostas Tsimikas is also considered among those at risk because we have Andy Robertson and now Milos Kerkez. So therefore, we may be able to offload Tsimikas. Harvey Elliott has been also admitted that he needs to be selfish with his own career ambitions, and therefore Harvey Elliott's link to West Ham may also be reignited, and therefore that gives you. And additionally, Tyler Morton and Ben Doak have also been linked to moves away from Liverpool. Ben Doak commanding anything between 25 to 30 million. Tyler Morton probably would cost a little bit less because he is pretty much a part-time player at Liverpool, but he is an England international, and therefore he would command a reasonably good fee. So what do we have here? We've got the Sky Sports Alexander Isak transfer news. So Isak has informed Newcastle he wants to explore options this transfer window. Liverpool have shown an interest. What does the Sky Sports say? Well, it tells you that Liverpool have signed Hugo Ekitike and Arsenal are close to signing Victor Gyökeres. So who is most likely to sign Alexander Isak? Isak is frustrated that he was denied the opportunity last week when Liverpool made an informal approach. Ekitike, who was essentially meant to be his replacement at Newcastle, moved to Liverpool instead from outside looking in. That was another door closing for Isak. Eddie Howe said something that stuck out to me in his post-match press conference on Saturday after the friendly against Celtic. He said, "I'm really aware it's a short career for a footballer. That to me is something that's likely been communicated to him by Isak or his representatives. I think Isak feels having been at Newcastle for 3 years, scoring 62 goals and helping them win the cup last year, he has done what he set out to achieve. His development has been almost faster than the club's. I'm not saying he's outgrown Newcastle, but he's in a position where he is one of the best strikers in Europe, playing for a team that doesn't really have the opportunity to win the Premier League, you would suggest. He is ambitious, he wants to win trophies and feels he should be earning 250 to 300,000. He's not earning that at Newcastle. He knows the other top strikers in the Premier League are earning that money. I think he doesn't want to be denied the possibility of that earning potential." So, are Liverpool really interested in Isak? The fact that Liverpool made an approach last week suggests that they are willing to pay a fee of at least in the region of what Newcastle are looking for, which is around £150 million. That admiration hasn't just recently disappeared with the signing of Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool are happy with their strike force and their squad, but that doesn't mean their business is finished. Jump to the next paragraph. He has 12 months with the players. He understands the Premier League. He's a Premier League winner already, and he wants to make Liverpool even better. And that means signing the very best players they possibly can. And that is talking about Arne Slot. Isak is certainly one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Whether Liverpool decide they can fit both him and Ekitike into their plan remains to be seen, but it's certainly one to watch. Eddie Howe believed he could fit Ekitike and Isak into the same team, so why wouldn't Arne Slot? I think Ekitike will probably play on the left. I think Isak could go through the middle with Mo Salah on the right. Oh my God, that is an absolutely scary proposition. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It is all happening right now, and it is happening at a pace of an absolute 100 miles an hour. So strap in. Liverpool at the moment are on a tour of the Far East. They are in Bangkok, they are in Hong Kong, and they are in Japan. They are going to be in Japan. And the team, if you look at the videos of their training, they are absolutely loving it out there. The players are gelling. These two players, Mo Salah and Florian Wirtz, are going to create magic this year. It is an absolutely scary prospect for a lot of teams in the Premier League. 2 days out from the Reds pre-season clash with AC Milan at Kaitak Stadium, the squad trained inside the venue in front of around 25,000 local supporters. Take a look below at the latest work towards Saturday's fixture, which will be streamed live on All Red Video. So let's take a look. Arne Slot, absolutely loving it, and he looks like he's getting a suntan. You've got the boss, Virgil van Dijk, who is who sets the example really for the team. You've got Konate, who is also key to Liverpool's first 11 next year. We really hope that Liverpool can secure a new contract for Ibrahima Konate. Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai looking very, very intent. Milos Kerkez, who is a very, very good, the best left back last year in the Premier League is Milos Kerkez, and we have managed to secure his services. Curtis Jones is a very good person to have in the squad. He gels the team very, very well. I expect some big things from Szoboszlai this year. With Florian Wirtz coming in, I think Szoboszlai's role in the team will change. And then there you have the final two signings, ladies and gentlemen, Frimpong and Florian Wirtz, who are buddies, and they were best friends at Bayer Leverkusen. These two, Nunes and Tsimikas, we may or we may not see at the start of the season. That is to be seen. You got Ryan Gravenberch, who is looking prime for another Premier League campaign. Connor Bradley is going to play a very important role for us in the next upcoming season. I expect Connor Bradley to do absolutely amazing for Arne Slot. Konate looks happy, in all honesty. I really think that if you offer a new deal to Konate, he will accept it. And then you have Endo. Endo being very happy to be a squad player at Liverpool and happy to come on as a substitute in the second half with half an hour or 20 minutes to go. The players look very, very eager. They look very, very sharp. They look prime. Cody Gapco, I expect Cody Gapco to perform very, very well this year. He performed well last year. We missed Joe Gomez a good part of last season. I'm hoping that Joe Gomez can stay fit. And if Konate or Van Dijk need a break or a rest, we are hoping that a fit Joe Gomez will be there on the bench, ready to come on and deliver. He also does well in the right back position, so we could actually see Gomez and Van Dijk and Konate on the pitch at the same time. Harvey Elliott, I believe, is a very good squad player. I don't think he probably would start for Liverpool. And then you have Mo Salah, who is looking to break more records this year. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The squad is happy. The squad is putting in the hours on the training pitch. Then the fans are very, very happy. Alisson is going to be our number one. And then Mamadashvili is going to be our number two. I am very excited to see Mamadashvili start for Liverpool in the FA Cup, the League Cup, and also if Alisson does get injured, I hope that he can come in and do a very good job. There we have our midfield magician, and he looks very settled. He's settled in very, very well at Liverpool. Milos Kerkez looks very focused and determined. The fans are loving it. This is the first leg of Liverpool's Far East tour. Liverpool will then move on to Japan. And there we have a new signing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Ekitike in a minute. I will talk about Ekitike because he joined his teammates in the Far East tour after he signed a contract with Liverpool and he completed his medical. The fans are loving it. 25,000 fans just to see Liverpool train. I'm hoping that the new players that joined the club, in terms of Hugo Ekitike and Kirkels and Frimpong and Florian Wirtz, will be impressed at the reach Liverpool Football Club have, um, and they will be impressed that Liverpool Football Club have a absolutely massive following out in the Far East. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of my video. Please follow me on X at the Anfield Eye. That is my profile. Please follow me, and also please like and subscribe the Anfield Eye. I'm always putting up new content. The last content I put on was The Fire Has Started, Training Like Monsters. Then I discussed Hugo Ekitike and the £79 million wild card. And then I also discussed our transfer so far, how much we've spent, and how we are cooking in the transfer market. Thank you, everybody, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.